Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's episode, we celebrate Valentine's Day with a tea party and chat about things we have a love-hate relationship with. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Adam, chamomile Hummel.
Soothing.
That wasn't very soothing, though.
Here's something soothing for you. Patrick, the look of love is in your eyes. The look. I'm not done. Your smile can't disguise. Now I'm done. Kazuki. I almost missed your last name. Kazuki.
Lots of drinks.
Yeah. I've had a few this morning. Yeah.
Okay. Good for you. It's 10 a.m., but I'm not judging you.
It's only been coffee, folks. Come on.
I beg to differ. Adam, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Patrick. Thank you so much. How are you, my friend?
Just delightful. Couldn't be better if I tried.
And is that because Valentine's Day is here?
You know it's my favorite day of the year, Adam.
I certainly do. How will you be celebrating with Dan?
Oh, probably going to bed at 7:30, and that's it. That's what I love most of all, is going to bed at 7:30.
Will you wear a lacy negligee to pique his interest?
I'm always wearing one of those, and it piques no one's interest.
I beg to differ.
Oh, are you piqued, Adam?
When I see you strutting around a Disney park in a lacy negligee, my interest is always piqued.
Interested in calling security. That's what you're interested in.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. I hope everyone out there who celebrates the holiday has a wonderful Valentine's Day. And even if you don't, do something to show yourself some love, you know?
Ooh, I like it. Remember, it is the year of you, 2022.
Very, very true. So celebrate you. Make love to yourself. Whoops. I shouldn't have said that. Or should I have?
Oh, what a disaster. We're 1 minute in and we're getting shut down. We're getting shut down, folks. But you know what, Adam? We have a Tweedle in our lives that we love on this Valentine's Day. We love to celebrate him. We love to talk about him. It's his birthday and his name is Jeff. Jeff, happy birthday at Just Jeff Riffle. In fact, I think you might still be in Disney World right now celebrating said birthday.
Jeff, happy birthday to you. Celebrating his 50th at the 50th, right?
Ooh, you outed him. You outed his age, but that's okay. I think he told us that, and I think he posted about it on his Instagram. So, happy 50th birthday, Jeff.
I've already made a pact with myself. I will never see 50.
Oh. That's pretty dark. That's pretty dark, Adam.
Can you imagine being 50 years old, Patrick? No, 50 years and fabulous, Jeff, at the 50th at Walt Disney World. I hope you're having a fantastic time.
Yes, absolutely. Happy birthday. Congratulations on your trip. And thank you for being a listener, Jeff.
Thank you so much. Patrick, let's zoom back in time to our last episode. We received some feedback regarding our Straight to the V viewing of The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
What a journey we went on with that episode, and a few of you had some things to say about it, including Jasmine on Instagram, JazzSlaughter6593. Jasmine says, "Aw, the king and queen of the Pride Lands."
Referring to us, I assume.
I can only assume that, absolutely. Which one am I?
You are the king. You are always my king, Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is such a weird episode already.
We also heard from Parker, who you can find on Instagram at ADV Parker. Parker says, loved the episode, but did not appreciate the slander y'all spread about this movie. Surprised face emoji. Okay, you guys are right to say it didn't live up to the masterpiece that was The Lion King, but I've always seen The Lion King 2 as being in the upper tier of Disney's straight-to-video sequels. I especially loved Kovu's character, and the song Upendi is an absolute bop. Mind you, I may be coming from a place of bias because I have fond memories of this film being one of the first DVDs my family owned, and I would always watch it while eating s'mores cookies. Very specific, I know. I still love you guys, though, and you two were fun and entertaining as always. Kissy face emoji with a little heart.
Yeah, Parker, I agree with you. This is, and I think I said this on the episode, my favorite of the straight to the V's that we've done so far, but that bar is pretty low.
Right. We have many more to explore, many more to explore. But this one definitely stood out as having a little bit more love behind it.
Just a little bit, though. Not a lot, but just a little bit. A little Valentine's Day sprinkling, if you will.
Just that much more. Yeah.
We also have Jeff reaching out to us, a different Jeff, this time on Instagram at the Disney Parks Teacher. Jeff says, I can't lie, I felt things for Kovu. There, I said it. I don't mind you sharing that I am a Kovu-sexual.
And feeling very similarly, Patrick, we also heard from Wolfie on Instagram at Grey-Eyed Wolfie saying, at the risk of sounding like a furry, Kovu had no right being that attractive. So two Tweedles here who had some feelings for Kovu.
They sure did. I can't lie. I'm not in disagreement with this. Kovu is an attractive lion, animated, but yeah, there, I'll say it. I'll stand with you. I'll be part of his lion guard.
We know that many people had feelings for Mufasa, right?
Did they? I did not know that.
I think Mufasa is considered a sexual icon. Yeah.
Oh, this is news to me, Adam. This is news to me.
Way back, many episodes ago, our friend Amanda came on and she was declaring her feelings for the Lion King, the original Lion King.
That's right. That does bring that back to mind now. I think she's the only one, though. She's the only one.
Reach out, Tweedles. Let us know. Are lions your thing? Did you feel things from Mufasa, Simba, Kovu? Ladies, let us know how you're feeling about Kiara. Yeah, maybe there's something there, Patrick. Maybe we need to explore that in an upcoming episode. We'll take like a Maury twist and explore attraction to lions.
We'll do an expose about animated lions.
Expose gay. Yes.
And expose gay. Gays do the expose gay. I like it.
Well, thank you, Tweedles, for all of your feedback. Very interesting. I think there's more to explore here, and we'll get to it.
There is. There's a lot more. You know what, though? Speaking of animated hotties, Adam, the new trailer for Lightyear was just released. Boy, oh boy, am I into Buzz Lightyear.
Is that the first time you've ever said that in your life?
It is not. It is not, Adam.
Yeah, so we didn't really have a chance to comment on the teaser that came out several months ago. So we're taking this opportunity to explore the trailer and everything it has to offer. All the things it promises. Patrick, you've kind of already alluded to the fact that you're feeling things for Buzz.
Yep, I'm buzzed on Buzz. That's for sure.
And what did you think of the trailer overall? Are you intrigued?
I am intrigued. I'm kind of interested in why they didn't just make this a live-action movie, because it looks like it just should be a live-action movie.
That's a great point. Yeah, Pixar's first live-action movie, they could really have taken the leap.
I guess it wouldn't be a Pixar movie then if it was live-action, but it would still be a good movie.
They could branch out. Disney started as animation, and maybe Pixar's like, now it's our turn, even though it's Disney-owned. So technically, it's all the same thing.
Oh boy. What did you think of the trailer?
I'm loving it. I'm very excited for this movie. I love the take they have on it, which is that this is the movie that Andy saw that inspired him to ask his mom for the Buzz Lightyear toy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really interesting prequel, I guess you could say, of Toy Story.
And I think it's smart that they didn't tie it directly back to Toy Story. I mean, obviously there's the connection of the character, but they're kind of removing themselves from that world and now exploring this world that's created in this movie that exists in the Toy Story universe.
My nose is bleeding right now.
Buzz Lightyear, voiced by hottie Chris Evans, Patrick. That helps, doesn't it?
Oh, that helps everything. He's my everything, Adam.
And the cast is stacked. We've got Taika Waititi joining Chris Evans. We've got Keke Palmer, James Brolin, Uzo Aduba. There is a wildly successful cast as the voice cast for this film.
Yeah, absolutely. I have high hopes for this movie. I can't wait for it to come out.
Well, you won't have to wait long, Patrick. It's expected to come out on June 17th, 2022.
Ooh, I'm invested. Just in time for Pride Month, you know?
I was just going to say, what a little nice treat for Pride Month.
I like it. So stay tuned this June, everybody. We will, in fact, be doing a review.
Maybe Buzz comes out.
We've just spoiled it. Spoiler alert, Buzz is gay.
Space isn't the only thing he's exploring. Okay.
Oh boy, that was a reach. That was a reach, but I'm here for it, Adam.
And I am here for This Week in Disney History, and you are here for telling us what happened this week in Disney history.
I am indeed. You're a captive audience. You can't go anywhere. So here we are this week in Disney history. Let's start out with a birthday. 87 years ago on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 1935, artist Paul Wenzel was born. Now, Wenzel was a movie poster and retail merchandise artist for Disney. His career spanned 42 years, which began in 1958. Over his career, Wenzel worked on over 100 Disney movie posters, including Mary Poppins, The Parent Trap, Herbie Goes Bananas, Pete's Dragon, and The Fox and the Hound. Wenzel also created concept paintings for Primeval World for the Magic Skyway attraction in the 1964 World's Fair. He also created concept art for the Haunted Mansion. In fact, his illustrations were later used for the cover of the 1964 album Chilling, Thrilling Sounds of the Haunted House. Why is it called the Haunted House, not the Haunted Mansion? I'm not sure. Wenzel would later become the very first art director for Disney Consumer Products, and then went on to become the creative director of character art. Likely his most famous work is a portrait of Walt Disney, which was created after Disney's death and was used on the 6-cent stamp in 1968. Now, likely many of you have seen this image before. It's basically a headshot of Walt Disney, and he's surrounded by characters from It's a Small World. Interesting fact, Wenzel is not a Disney legend.
Shame.
I know. I'm disappointed in you, Disney.
Tweedles, even if you don't know the name, I guarantee you will recognize his artwork. I never know what Patrick's going to talk about in This Week in Disney History, so I Googled Paul while Patrick was talking about him, and sure enough, I mean, the posters, the stamp, all of it, you will recognize his artwork, his hand, so to speak. Like, it's iconic.
Yeah, he's got a very specific style, and you have absolutely seen it. It's absolutely beautiful. So happy birthday to Paul Wenzel. Moving on, Adam, 53 years ago, also on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 1969, Thurl Ravenscroft, Jay Meyer, Bob Ebright, Chuck Schroeder, and Vern Rowe recorded a very famous track for Disney. Adam, any guesses to what they may have been recording?
I'm guessing, Patrick, that it was Grim Grinning Ghosts.
That is absolutely correct. They were recording the Grim Grinning Ghost theme for the Haunted Mansion, now one of the most recognizable theme park songs in the world. Fun fact, during the recording session, Alan Davies noticed how interesting the five men looked together, and that's where he pitched the idea to use their likeness as the actual singing busts for the attraction. And 2 weeks later, the singers were put on film.
How fantastic is that? I just love that these gentlemen got together, recorded this fabulous theme song for this amazing attraction, and you can still see them when you go through that attraction.
Absolutely a historic moment for Disney, and one that I imagine will live on for years and years and years to come.
I just love This Week in Disney History because I learn things, Patrick. I come into the recording thinking there's nothing more I could possibly know about Disney. I am an expert, and yet here you are, spilling the goods week after week, giving us the knowledge.
Oh, you're so humble. You're so humble, and that's what I, Valentine's Day, love about you.
Thank you so much. I Valentine's Day love you, too.
Oh, well, with that heartfelt and real sentiment, I imagine, Adam, I think it's time we move on to the news before it gets more awkward here. Disney World continues to evolve and pivot with their entertainment offerings in the parks, with the elimination of some and the addition of others. Over at Hollywood Studios, the Mickey and Friends motorcade has motor-faded away this past week. Pause for laughter. But fear not, Mickey has not been ejected from the park. He is back at the Red Carpet Dreams photo spot in his Sorcerer Mickey outfit. Over at Animal Kingdom, possibly the best walk-around character of all time, Kevin, is back in all her glory, photobombing and screaming in people's faces. Also in Animal Kingdom for a limited run, Celebrate Soulfully will be playing daily through February on the Harambe stage. The new show celebrates Black history through music and dance. Celebrate Soulfully can also be seen in Disneyland throughout February and perhaps in different iterations throughout the year. And rounding out the new offerings in the parks, due to its popularity, the Capture Your Moment photo experience will soon be offered in all 4 theme parks in Disney World. For those who don't know, Capture Your Moment is a 20-minute private photo session with a Disney photographer. It started as a Magic Kingdom only offering and soon expanded to Animal Kingdom. And now, starting on February 24th, you can book a session in Epcot, and on March 21st, you can begin booking sessions in Hollywood Studios. Each session runs $79, and you are able to book multiple back-to-back sessions if you want more time. I have to give a shout-out to Disney for showing diversity in their photo examples on their website with very diverse families and LGBTQ couples.
Love it, love it. Do you foresee this maybe evolving into like a glamour shots kind of moment for Disney? Like, I want props. I need a boa and a very gauzy lens on that camera.
I think we need to make this happen. I mean, $79 is well worth us being total fools in the Magic Kingdom with glamour shots photos.
Absolutely. My moment that I want captured is me in a mall in the 80s.
I want a denim jacket and crimped hair, for sure.
Nominations for the 94th Academy Awards were announced last Tuesday morning, with films from across the Walt Disney Company combining to earn 23 Academy Award nominations. Let's talk about some things that we don't really talk about on the podcast, Patrick. These are films that the Disney Company has helped produce or distribute, yes. So not necessarily films that we've covered on the podcast, but I got to bring it up. West Side Story received 7 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Best Directing, Best Costume Design, Best Sound, Best Cinematography, and Best Production Design. Searchlight Pictures' Nightmare Alley picked up nominations for Best Picture, Best Costume Design, Best Cinematography, and Best Production Design. Disney's Onyx Collective secured its first Academy Award nomination with Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, in partnership with Searchlight Pictures and Hulu. Jessica Chastain, got to bring it up because truly a wild performance, was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role for her performance in Searchlight Pictures' The Eyes of Tammy Faye. The film also garnered a nomination for Best Makeup and Hairstyling. Before we move on to more traditionally recognized GDTD fare, Patrick, have you seen any of those films? Are you pulling for any of those films or actors or designers in those categories?
Well, in my best Adam impression, I have not seen any of those films, Adam.
Proud of you.
Thank you so much. I have heard amazing reviews from friends and family about West Side Story, and I absolutely have to see it. I'm disappointed in myself that I haven't seen it yet.
Well, you will soon have a chance. It's coming to Disney Plus and HBO Max on March 2nd. So if you have not seen it in the theaters, Tweedles, you'll be able to check it out on Disney Plus or HBO Max. Okay, so moving on to animation, live action Disney films, Pixar, what have you. Here we go. Pixar Animation Studios' Luca earned a Best Animated Feature nomination, as did Walt Disney Animation Studios' Raya and the Last Dragon and Encanto. Encanto also received nominations for Best Original Score and Best Original Song. Cruella received 2 nods for Best Makeup and Hairstyling and Best Costume Design, and Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings received 1 nomination for Best Visual Effects. 7 of the nominated films are available to stream now on Disney Plus and Hulu, folks, so head to those streamers immediately. For a complete list of all Disney's nominations, visit thewaltdisneycompany.com.
Encanto, I think it's going to win. I have a feeling.
It seems like the front runner, right?
I would imagine so, but I mean, I just love that movie so much, so I'm very biased in leaning toward it.
Same, Patrick. You know, we live in a world that is really magical in that we are just able to head to our TVs and watch most of this content now. And I just love that about this time we live in.
I do too. How many times have you seen Encanto now, Adam? Upwards of 15, 20?
Just the once in the theater.
I am really surprised at that. I have seen it maybe every day of my life since it came out.
Just on in the background on repeat?
Kind of, basically. I just love it. It's so beautiful. The music is so good. I can't get enough of Encanto.
My brother watched it, and my brother is not an animation fan. Like, he likes it, but he doesn't typically gravitate towards animation. And he was just like blown away by it, really loved it.
Yeah, and I'm really loving all of the videos that are going around of little girls dressing up as Mirabelle and singing and dancing along with it. It is absolutely adorable, and I'm loving that it's a Latinx character that everybody is just in love with and emulating and wants to be, and she's not even a princess. So it's an amazing time we live in right now.
I'm going to release a video of me dressed as Mirabelle dancing around.
I'm going to hire a Disney photographer to take photos of it.
Capture that moment, Patrick.
In other awards news, for the 16th year in a row, Disney has earned a top score of 100 on the HRC's Corporate Equality Index. The HRC, or Human Rights Campaign Equality Index, is the go-to benchmarking survey and report measuring corporate policies and practices related to LGBTQ+ workplace equality. Earning a score of 100 makes Disney one of the best places to work for LGBTQ+ equality. To earn this score and the title, companies are rated on criteria falling under 4 central pillars. We know Disney loves pillars. The pillars are non-discrimination policies across business entities, equitable benefits for LGBTQ+ workers and their families, supporting an inclusive culture, and corporate social responsibility. Outside of Disney's internal efforts to provide a safe place to work for the LGBTQ+ community, they are also among the top donors for LGBTQ+ resources, like Out and Equal Workplace Advocates, GLSEN, GLAAD, and possibly a conflict of interest for this award, the Human Rights Campaign. In any case, earning a score of 100 is something to be very proud of, and something we here at GDTD hope to achieve someday for our own little company.
Oh, that's not going to happen, Patrick.
Not in this episode, anyways. Now, in addition to being named a best place to work by the HRC, Disney was also added to Fortune's annual list of the world's most admired companies. This year, Disney ranked number 5 overall, and for the 19th year in a row, retained its position as the top-ranked media and entertainment company in the world. Disney also ranked highly in a number of other categories, including innovation, people management, use of corporate assets, social responsibility, quality of products and services, and global competitiveness.
Okay, congratulations, Disney. Great to hear this. Great to know this. Let's hope they continue to kind of push forward when it comes to LGBTQ+ issues. We know there are a number of states that have certain agendas they want to enact when it comes to belittling or downplaying or removing the rights of the community. So I hope Disney continues to make strides forward and supports the community.
We're looking at you, Florida. Pull it together. Pull it together.
Yeah, we are looking at you, Florida. And we're looking at you, Disney. We cannot allow you to stay silent on what's happening in Florida. And folks, if you don't know what's happening in Florida, please look up the Don't Say Gay bill on Google and you'll be informed of the nonsense the Florida government is trying to enact.
Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Get involved, everybody. And time to speak up, Disney. We're looking at you.
Yeah, say something, do something, please. The bill is passing committees and it's very disheartening. And we will amass a gay army, Disney. We will do it. We will amass a gay army with this podcast to protest your silence if that's the course you choose to take.
And we will hire you to capture that moment as well.
Can it still be glamour shots, though, Patrick?
It can. It can. I will have crimped hair for the event.
Protest, but make it fashion, right?
Exactly.
Disney held its earnings results webcast for the first quarter of fiscal year 2022 last Wednesday and reported earnings that beat analyst estimates on earnings per share and revenue. According to a February 9th CNBC article, the company earned $21.82 billion in revenue versus $20.91 billion expected. Disney Plus subscriptions beat estimates with nearly 12 million Disney Plus subscriptions added in the first quarter. Noted villain CFO Christine McCarthy said on the company's earnings call that Disney expects to spend significantly on streaming in the second quarter. She said the company expects programming and production expenses for the direct-to-consumer business to increase by about $800 million to $1 billion. Disney's Parks, Experiences, and Consumer Products division saw revenues reach $7.2 billion during the quarter, double the $3.6 billion it generated in the prior year quarter. That's the second best quarter in the division's history. The segment saw operating results jump to $2.5 billion compared to a loss of $100 million in the same period last year. Disney credited much of the increase to Genie Plus and Lightning Lane purchases, and Disney CEO Bob Chapek noted that up to 50% of guests are now using Genie Plus. Disney said the growth in revenue came as more guests attended its theme parks, stayed in its branded hotels, and booked cruises. McCarthy noted that Disney's domestic parks, particularly Walt Disney World, has yet to see a significant return in ticket sales from international travelers, which pre-pandemic accounted for 18% to 20% of guests. Additionally, although Disney's television and film productions have resumed, it is still experiencing disruptions in its pipeline. While the studio's theatrical releases were among the top performing films of the year, the domestic box office still has not fully recovered from the pandemic. Income from Disney's co-production of the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Spider-Man No Way Home with Sony offset losses on the other titles released during the quarter, which were unable to overcome significant marketing and production costs. It's a lot of numbers, Patrick, I know, but what really stood out to me was the Parks, Experiences, and Consumer Products division hitting its second best quarter in the history of the company.
Yeah, that is surprising and fantastic. I am shocked that Disney Genie Plus is doing so well.
That is interesting, isn't it? Do you think that that's because parks goers are undereducated on it in the fact that, they're not fully understanding the benefits of it and may just be purchasing it because they think they'll need it?
Hard to know. But I will say, I'm not a numbers guy, but it sounds like they are telling us that it's doing better than it is. I have to believe that 50% of people aren't using it. When he says that 50% of people are using it, obviously 50% aren't. And that's a huge number. Half of your guests are not using this product, whereas when it was Fast Passes, I would say 100% of people were using Fast Passes, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. I also think it's a little suspicious that Parks, Experiences, and Consumer Products is doing so well, given that Walt Disney World in particular hasn't returned to normal operating procedure yet. So there are a lot of offerings that are just simply not on the table. And yet Disney's making more money than ever when it comes to its parks, experiences, and products. And that makes me believe that they simply will not bring back as many attractions or experiences because they know they can make more money without them there.
Yeah, that absolutely is true. We'll talk a little bit about this in our main segment, but it's baffling to me. I mean, congratulations, I guess, but at what cost are we congratulating you?
$7.2 billion, that's the cost.
That's the number. That's the one. Oh, hello, Adam.
Hello.
It is Valentine's Day, Valentine's Gay, if you will. Love is in the air, Adam, and we have a tea party all lined up for this special occasion.
We're celebrating with a tea party. Some tea, some sandwiches, some scone.
Ooh, I want a cucumber sandwich. I've never actually had a cucumber sandwich. Are they good?
So good, Patrick. So fresh.
Oh, why haven't you made me one?
I truly don't have an answer. I was trying to think of something funny, but there's nothing there. You're right. I should have been focusing all of my energy on making you cucumber sandwiches. What am I doing with my life?
I have no answers for you. No answers for you. But I do have a tea party for you, Adam. Get your tea bags out. That sounds weird. I don't like that sentence one bit. But, let's tea bag. Let's have a tea party. Let's talk about things. Let's spill the tea. This time around, it being Valentine's Day, we thought, let's talk about things we love, but let's flip it a little bit. Let's flip the script a scotch. We're not talking about romantic love necessarily. We're talking about maybe some guilty pleasures within the park, maybe some things that we're torn about within Disney itself. Are we loving it? Are we hating it? Do we love to hate it? Do we hate to love it?
I love that you're using the H word. It's a very strong word. It's a very passionate word. But you know what? It has a place in Disney culture and Disney discussions, I think, because we are passionate enthusiasts of Disney. And sometimes things just don't sit right with us. So let's talk about them, too.
Let's do just that, Adam. We have several topics all lined up. Do you want to choose our first topic?
I do. In fact, it's the first topic on the list because I think you are going to be far more vocal about this than I. Although, let's see. We could surprise ourselves with this one, but it's popcorn buckets and or the lines that have been forming for merch when new merch is released.
It is absolute insanity, isn't it?
It's wild. And I say this as someone who does not have that gene in their DNA that draws them to merchandise or the need to merchandise the merchandise. That made no sense, but let's just leave that in. I don't have that desire to have the item that everybody wants. Patrick, do you have that desire?
I mean, I do like merch. We all know this. I have many items in my house. I don't know if I'm over merched, but lately, for some reason, I'm turned off by these insane lines, these sometimes 8-hour lines to get a popcorn bucket. Now, do I think that the merch that they're pumping out is adorable and cute and collector's items? I do. I think they're amazing, but I'm not seeing myself in one of those lines, if that makes sense. And I'm interested to know who is waiting in line for these popcorn buckets, for these sippers, for anything, just, name it. And if there's a line for it, what's going on there? What is the need?
Yeah, we know that some of these people are going to be reselling these items on eBay, and we know that Disney is putting restrictions on the number of items you can purchase, but that doesn't account for the hugely long lines, right? So there are passionate fans out there, collectors who want these items, and we certainly understand that. We should have had one on as a guest, Patrick. That's what we should have done, because both you and I seem like we're at a loss for the need. What's that need? What's that driving factor that keeps them standing in line for a popcorn bucket?
Yeah, and it is disheartening to see them just pop up on eBay seconds later for $800 or whatever it is. It's not a good look, I feel like, for Disney. It's almost like, well, who are these really for then? They're not really for the hardcore fans. They're just for people to make a buck off of. And Disney doesn't care because they're making a buck off of it as well. My suggestion for items like this, if Disney knows it's going to have a hot item like the Figment popcorn bucket, right? Make it more of an activity to get the bucket. You have to do some other things within the park, not just wait in line to get a popcorn bucket. I know it sounds funny, but I mean, think about the scavenger hunt that they do and you get a little prize at the end of it. I just feel like make it more of an activity, and then you're going to get the actual fans who want the bucket because they're fans, not trying to make a dollar off of it, getting the popcorn bucket. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I love this idea. Let's propose some activities that guests can do if they want a very popular item. You have to clean a restroom.
This is going to put you to work so you can purchase a popcorn bucket.
That's right. What did our parents tell us growing up? You have to earn it, right? So let's give guests the most disgusting task they could possibly do, and then we'll know who truly wants that popcorn bucket.
I think we're onto something. I think we're absolutely onto something.
Deep clean the carpets at Turtle Talk with Crush.
Oh, heavens no. There's no popcorn bucket imaginable to live up to that task.
Sanitize trash cans during Food and Wine at Epcot.
This is horrific. I am ashamed of myself for bringing this up because it turned into something absolutely nightmarish.
No, I think that's a really good idea, though, is like some kind of scavenger hunt or something that not only makes the guests work for it in a fun way, but also eliminates that super long line then, which looks so unattractive. Like we see the photos of the really long lines and it just feels very gross and kind of oogie to me. I don't know if it's the blatant consumerism of it. And I say that as a Disney fan. I know what I'm talking about. I know that it sounds bonkers, but it does just seem a little over the top gross.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's for some reason, it just doesn't sit well with me either. It's just not a cute look for Disney.
Do we know, are the Figment buckets still available? Like, can you go to Flower and Garden now and just pick one up?
I think that they were only available for the Festival of the Arts. And so once that's done, I think you can't get one anymore.
Oh, that's right. Festival of the Arts. I'm sorry. So it was just for the festival, but like it was just those initial days where like the lines were super long, or were the lines long the entire festival?
Not sure. I am not sure. I have to imagine they only made a certain amount of them, right? And so they were probably gone and done with within the first few days of the festival.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. I'm sure they just kind of limited the number of them. Okay. I mean, it's not for me. If it's your thing, Tweedles, and you're happy waiting in line and like getting that coveted item, then more power to you. If that brings you joy, good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That is your Valentine's love, is the popcorn bucket. I'm not here to judge you, but I do want to know, if you are one of those Tweedles, if you've gotten a popcorn bucket and you waited in line, reach out to us. We want to hear your story, for sure.
And what are you doing with it? Like, do you just display it? Do you kind of tuck it away to preserve it? Like, what's the end game once you get the popcorn bucket? What do you use it for, or is it just decorative?
And how are you getting it home? Because those are very big. Are you buying another suitcase? Did you come prepared to get something that big? I always have that question in the back of my head too. Like, how am I getting this home? If I can't, then I'm not going to buy it.
Do you purchase an extra seat on the plane?
That is also my motto when I go to a bar. How am I getting this person home? If I can't, then I'm just not going to bother.
There's so many directions I could take that, Patrick. I'm not going to do it because I feel like none of them would be of service to this episode.
Fair. That's fair enough. Perhaps that is a good indication that we should clean cup, move down.
Move it on down. Where are we going next?
Ooh, let's go with one that you added to the list. I am interested in screen-based attractions, Adam.
Me too. I'm interested in them too. Do you like screen-based attractions?
Well, I have a question on what you mean by screen-based attractions. Are you talking about an attraction in which you're looking at a screen, or are you talking about movies based off of attractions?
Oh, I'm talking about attractions where you are looking at a screen while experiencing that attraction.
I do. I mean, some of my favorite attractions are screen-based attractions. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is mostly a screen-based attraction. Also, Flight of Passage, Mickey's PhilharMagic. So yeah, I would say I'm a fan.
Me too. I'm worried, however, and this is why I put it down, that we're kind of quickly approaching a time when it's only going to be screen-based attractions. And then I would be disappointed. Like, you know, I like a good mix. I like a kind of a classic style dark ride with animatronics and, you know, maybe low budget effects or effects that would be considered low budget. And then, you know, I like to go on something like Flight of Passage where I get that kind of span of experiences, you know, but I think with the popularity of screen-based attractions, we're kind of seeing more and more of them, and they are very successful. Most of them are very, very successful in moving you or giving you a bit of an adventure. I'm just worried that there soon are only going to be screen-based attractions.
Yeah, I can totally see what you're saying. I'm a fan of like the hybrid that they're doing now. I'm thinking Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, I'm thinking Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway are so successful because it's a mix. You're not just sitting in one spot. You're seeing practical effects along with these visual effects on a screen.
Yeah, I agree. The most successful use of them is when you are immersed in the screen. So it's more of like a 360 experience as opposed to like you kind of just facing one direction and experiencing a projected or digital film. You know, saying that though, obviously Soarin' Around the World, Soarin' Over California are beloved attractions, as is Flight of Passage. But I think the way Disney's going seems to be combining those kind of classic elements that everybody knows and loves with the addition of the technology of screens or more of a surround viewing.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be interesting in years to come to see what new additions might come to the park, because they are quickly running out of real estate, right? And it is far more economical to have a lot of people in a smaller space, right? And that means more screens, obviously. Like Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is not an enormous space because a lot of it is just on a screen that you don't move very much with. So are we going down more that way? Are we going to be getting rid of some attractions? It's going to be interesting in what the next 5-10 years brings us in the Disney parks.
And how they're going to be appealing to younger generations, right? Who have grown up with more of video games and virtual reality and things like that. Like, how are they going to cater to those children, Patrick, when they also have to appease older fans like us? Ugh, why did I say that? But it's true. They do have to appease older fans like us who have more of that kind of nostalgic love for the dark rides.
Soon it's going to be bring your own screen, I think, to the attraction. So they're just going to say, everyone get out your cell phones and look at this video while we move you in a car.
You don't even need to go to the parks anymore. You just slap on your headset and virtually walk. It's called valking. You virtually valk from attraction to attraction.
Careful with that word. Oh.
Regardless, I'd love to know what our Tweedles think about this, because we know we have listeners of all different age groups. So how do you feel about screen-based attractions? This is not a groundbreaking topic, but I'm just very curious to know if you are drawn to them, if you think they are the absolute way of the future. Are you a fan of more of the hybrid experience like Patrick and I are? Give us your thoughts.
Let us know. And with that, Clean Cup, move down to our new topic. Adam, what are we talking about next?
Next, we're talking about pantsuits, Patrick.
Of course we are. Minnie Mouse's infamous, scandalous, some might say, pantsuit in Disneyland Paris. What do you think, Adam?
First of all, I think that would be a good drag name for you, Pantsuits Patrick.
Writing it down now. Thank you so much.
I'm not fully educated on this topic. So I know that Stella McCartney is designing or has designed a pantsuit for the walk-around character Minnie to wear as part of Disneyland Paris's 30th anniversary celebration, right?
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. And the right-wing media had a field day on this, basically saying, why are we changing Minnie Mouse? Why does she need to be politically correct, quote unquote, by wearing a pantsuit? Which I don't understand where that argument is coming from. Who started that? Just you did, right-wing media. Just you did.
Okay, so they're all in a tizzy because Minnie Mouse is changing her look, despite the fact that Minnie Mouse has had so many looks throughout her history.
Yeah, I don't understand. And she's worn pantsuits before, or tracksuits at least, for some of those 80s videos and 90s videos. This is not the first time that she has not been in a dress, but they want her to only be in a dress, apparently. I don't get it. I am wildly confused by their uproar about this. But I am not wildly confused about my thoughts on Minnie Mouse's pantsuit. I love her in a pantsuit. I do not like this pantsuit, though, I have to say.
I was going to say, my only issue is how ugly this pantsuit is.
100%. Stella McCartney, where was your gay when you were designing this? Because no one should have let her leave the house like that. No, thank you, Minnie Mouse.
For those that haven't seen it, it's navy blue, and what's on it? There's Mickey heads on it, or I don't know. There's a pattern on it.
There's a lot of polka dots, as per usual, obviously, and then there's some clashing patterns too. There's some stripes involved. I don't know. It's just not a good look. In fact, I just threw my microphone across the room. Everybody, you're gonna edit that out, but I was heated about it.
If you have not seen it yet, go to our stories. We'll post an image there of what Minnie Mouse's pantsuit looks like.
Yeah,
not attractive, not a good look on Minnie. And Minnie has the body that can honestly pull off anything, and she deserves the very best. And this is not it, Stella.
Yeah, just not impressed by it. Try again. But I actually do love Minnie Mouse in a pantsuit, though. I think that style is fetching. Those patterns are not.
I love Minnie Mouse in anything. I'll say it. I want her to be comfortable, yes, but we live in an era where comfortable, casual is kind of the look right now. So I say go for it, Minnie. I just want her to be more stylish.
She is not up for Best Oscar for costume design.
She's not. She will not be at the CFDA awards for her looks, for sure. You know what else really kind of throws me a bit is that it's for Disneyland Paris's 30th anniversary, and yet Stella McCartney, who I believe is from England, right? She's Paul McCartney's daughter, is designing it, and not a French person who seems like would have been like the right choice and the right kind of look for a celebration taking place in France.
Yeah, I don't get that part about it either. Maybe who knows? Who knows? Who can say?
She could have done like a Beatles-inspired look, like a Sgt. Pepper's look. That would have been even better.
Just like a glowing mustard pantsuit. I like this.
Kind of a piratey-looking pantsuit from the 70s. That's what we really want to see on Minnie.
Tweedles out there, send us your designs for what pantsuit you want Minnie Mouse to be in.
Patrick, that beautiful mind of yours is working overtime today. That is what we need to see. We need to see our Tweedles designs for what Minnie should be wearing for the 30th anniversary of Disneyland Paris. You know what we need to do is we need to create like a coloring book type image that we can post online that people can then fill in digitally with their phones. Give us those looks.
I love this idea. I love this so much. Minnie Mouse, we applaud you. Stella McCartney, try again.
We say this as noted fashion designers.
And right-wing media have several seats. Just stop it. We just stop. Stop getting involved in our Disney love.
They just want attention. They just want something that they know will like rile everybody up. So they bring up Disney. They bring up the pantsuit. I mean, how ridiculous. Who cares?
Who even cares? Well, with that, Adam, let's clean cup, move down to the next topic. This is apropos, I suppose. Social media/media. You added this topic.
Very fired up about this, Patrick.
I can tell.
Here are my thoughts about this and why I kind of put it down. I guess I should open with that. Why did I include this topic? Is because lately, and maybe this is just where I'm at in my life, like, you know how you go through phases with social media, like you have kind of ups and downs with it, where like you're really engaged sometimes, and sometimes you're like completely disgusted by it. Lately, I tend to be more disgusted by it. Okay, it's true. And I tend to be taking kind of more of a break from it. And it got me thinking about the Disney community on social media. And I mean, just flat out, we always recognize our Tweedles who have written into us. We'd like to pass along their Instagram handles so that you can find them and connect with them. You know, there are so many people who are parts of the Disney community that we know and love on social media and love connecting with them. But then there's kind of the other side of social media, Disney social media, the darker side, right? Which is really gross, like people tearing each other down. And it kind of relates to the media as well, and the kind of like how the media portrays either people who love Disney as adults or Disney itself as a company, and kind of the steps it's taking socially to kind of include as many people as possible. Does that make sense? Like they want to be as inclusive as possible, and certain sides of the media really kind of have a field day with that. That was a lot. Go for it.
Do you have examples of this and why you included it on our list today?
Yes, let me pull up some Instagram accounts that I'd like to name right now for being... I'm kidding.
I was here for it. I was like, do it.
No, I think this kind of relates back to the popcorn bucket discussion a bit, right? So like people wait in line to get the popcorn bucket, and then suddenly they're posting about the popcorn bucket, right? And they're like, I got it. Or, you know, they're like, I was the first in line for this, or I saw it, or, you know, and it's like, does this feed you? You know, it does go back to the merchandise discussion, but does this feed that person? Like, they're just going for the likes, they're going for the love and affection that they get from those that follow them? And is that something that is seen as a success story when it comes to the Disney community?
Interesting. Yeah, this is a tricky topic because, I mean, we are, as gays do the D, and even just as individuals, included in that social media community, right? And so what's the balance of, I think this is where you're going with this, what's the balance of, are you putting something that is helpful out into the community, or are you putting something that is just, for lack of a better word, eye candy into the community? And who's to say what's right and what's not right? It's a tricky topic.
Yes, and I of all people, am no social media expert or like have really kind of under any kind of great understanding or grasp of it. And I don't really care to. So that's maybe where my issue is coming from, is just that a lot of times it comes across as insincere.
Okay. Yeah.
And I guess I just question what's the reasoning or purpose behind why you're posting, or I guess I don't understand that reasoning.
Yeah, that's fair. There are quite a few accounts out there that I have followed in the past and don't so much follow anymore because I never ever got a sense of knowing who that person was based on their posts. It all seemed very manufactured. And I think that's maybe what you're talking about here, that I just don't know. I don't know who you are. This isn't telling me anything about you. And so why am I following you?
It's very confusing to me, Patrick. I'm probably ranting like a madman here, but more often than not, I'm turned off by it. I will say that. Like just the kind of onslaught of posts that come through that almost celebrate the individual rather than the experience that they're having.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I still want you to name them. Let's just shout it out right now. Who are you turned off by, Adam? Just kidding.
John Stamos. I'm kidding. More often than not, Patrick, it just feels kind of sad to me. And maybe that's my own issues. Like I'm kind of projecting my own inadequacies on it. But rather than kind of sharing an authentic experience, it just seems like a lot of window dressing and not necessarily a way of connecting with each other.
I feel like you're talking specifically about my Instagram account. Is this an intervention, Adam?
This is me looking at you, telling you that no one wants to see your makeup tutorials, Patrick.
I beg to differ. I get several likes on that, 1 to 2 likes per post. So, and that does feed me, Adam. It really does. Much like a popcorn bucket also feeds me, literally.
Was this just a rant? Probably. I probably just ranted, and I apologize if anyone is offended, but I'm curious what our Tweedles think, as always. Has social media kind of turned you off sometimes from the Disney community? Or have you found it just completely beneficial and you've connected with so many people that it's just been an absolute positive in your life?
And who's crushing it? Who are we not following that we should be following because they are posting really authentic, beautiful moments of their Disney experience?
And are they hot?
And are they super hot? Who should we follow? Oh dear. Well, I think it's time for, I guess it looks like our last topic of the day, Adam. Clean cup, move down. This should be very uplifting. We're talking about the Disney corporate of it all and their social responsibility. Specifically, are they really doing a good job? Are they really serving the community? This is a topic that I think you and I have both been torn about and have talked about it a little bit here on the podcast. Even today, it came up a little bit of, are they really doing a good job, an authentically good job at serving the community?
It's tricky to talk about because we've been doing this podcast for 3.5 years now. And every year we seem to report on the same awards that Disney receives in recognition of the strides that they're taking to be more inclusive and support those that work for them or those that visit the parks in however they choose to represent themselves. So on the one side of it, it's great that Disney is seeing the change that it needs to make and doing it. But on the other side of it, there's this weird hesitancy, I would say, almost to not fully put themselves out there and just take a stance. I think that ultimately it comes down to the money, right? They don't want to offend anyone who may visit the parks or go see their films, and they certainly don't want like boycotts on their hands. But in short, it just feels like they're not able to fully support members of our community because they're afraid of the backlash.
Yeah, as I said, it is a tricky topic because, as you pointed out, they are getting recognition in these awards, as we reported in the news earlier today, the HRC top score of 100. But as you're talking about, are they doing enough right now? Are they really standing up for us? Or does it sometimes seem like Disney is doing just enough to get that award, but not really taking that extra step in protecting the LGBTQ plus community and beyond, and the Black community, the Hispanic community, all of their guests, basically? Are they really doing it for the right reasons? And sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know the answer to that.
it just seems like they have been tiptoeing around having a fully out character, significant character in film for so long, and it hasn't happened yet. And why hasn't that happened yet? Like, just do it and get it over with. It's almost like ripping the Band-Aid off. And those who are going to be pissed off by the fact that you have a main character who is LGBTQ+, like, it won't matter, because we live in this world, this cycle now where it's like 2 minutes later, another scandal's going to come along and the million moms or whatever they're called will be upset about that, you know? So it's just like, just do it and make a stance, take that step forward and support us all by showing how you really feel.
Yeah, it's interesting because 5 years ago, if the things that are happening now were happening 5 years ago, it would have been groundbreaking and incredible, and we would have been, you know, shouting from the rooftops, hooray for Disney. But today, queer-coded characters isn't enough. It's not cutting it anymore. We need to be represented on film, in the parks, by Disney. And they're just, yeah, as you said, they're tiptoeing around it, and it almost feels offensive now that it's like, why are you part of this? Don't say gay. You know what I mean? This whole movement now in Florida, because at Disney, you need to start saying gay. You need to start saying it. You need to start representing us. Otherwise, I think, sadly, you are going to start losing the gay community if you don't start supporting them.
And I brought this up before, and we've said it over and over again, but Disney has seen the response from giving audiences these more diverse characters. And I'm not just talking about ethnically diverse. I'm talking about, you know, we just saw in Encanto how the kids are absolutely going nuts for Luisa, right? Like, they are obsessed with her size and her athleticism and her strength, but also her vulnerability. So, like, we see how successful these stories can be and how much they touch not only adults, but also the kids that are viewing these movies. So just take the leap, and I guarantee you it'll be far more beneficial for you as a company and as a culture, as opposed to like something that, you know, the right-wing media or those with more stringent beliefs will see as a negative.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just in general, right? I think it's disappointing when any company, and specifically Disney right now, it seems like they're catering to the negative people. They're catering to the people on the right, I'm sorry to say, who are not supportive of our community. And that is just absolutely the wrong stance to take. We can't tiptoe around it anymore. And give us a gosh darn Pride celebration in the parks as well. You see how successful it is when you do things like celebrate soulfully, when you celebrate the Lunar New Year. It's absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. And so it's time that you do a Pride celebration in the parks, sponsored by Disney, not just allowing us to be there, but inviting us to be there.
So that's the ask. Disney, like, just take the leap. It's not even a leap anymore. It's like a half of a step. We're like so close. Just do it and like make it happen, and let us all be included and recognized as a part of your audience fully. Like, let us be recognized.
Yes, let us be recognized. Let us be represented as well, fully on screen and in the parks. As I said before, we need to flip this bill around, and I think it's time. We're looking at Disney. It's time for Disney to say gay. And we know you're listening, Disney, so you have your marching orders. You have your Pride Parade marching orders from Adam and Patrick on Gays Do the D.
And I hope that people are really willing to like put their money where their mouth is. Like, yes, we are passionate fans, and should Disney not go far enough or never fully commit to celebrating the LGBTQ plus community, I hope that people are really willing to sincerely consider not going to the parks or not seeing the movies. Like, we know that the community is a huge part of Disney's support and funding, and I hope that people are really willing to like take a look at themselves and think about maybe not engaging in something that they truly love if they're not feeling seen by that company.
Fair enough. Tweedles, we want to hear from you about this. Actually, are you feeling seen? Do you think Disney is doing enough? Do you feel represented? And if so, how? And if not, what are your recommendations? What would you like to see Disney do more of?
Yes, please reach out to us. You can do so on social media. You know, the nice social media. Like, make it meaningful, people. Okay? You can reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or let us hear your voice in a voice memo, or reach out to us on email at info@gaysdothed.com.
Let me just step down off my soapbox. now, Patrick. Would you say I was too impassioned or just impassioned enough?
I think when it comes to representation and wanting to feel included, there is no limit of how passionate you are allowed to be. The limit does not exist, Adam. The limit does not exist, to quote Mean Girls.
Okay, I was talking more about the popcorn buckets, but if you want to take it back to representation, that's fine.
You were awfully heated about those popcorn buckets.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Adam.
We've reached the end of this episode, and that means it's time for Quick D.
It's time. It's always time for, there's always time for a Quick D.
There really and truly is. And we thought, you know what? We just went on this impassioned speech about what Disney needs to do to include more representation from the LGBTQ plus community in the parks and in their films and media, what have you. And there's no better way for us to actually inspire Disney than by doing a Quick D Imagine Queering, in which we draw the name of an attraction from a Disney park and we gay it up.
We do indeed. And yeah, this will be the most inspiring part of the episode, I feel like, right? We're always serious about it, for real.
Yeah, for real. And this is free money, Disney. This is absolutely free money. This is our ideas coming straight from our noggins into your pocketbooks, because this will make you millions and billions of dollars.
And that's what it's all about. Representation equals making money off of us.
We joke about it, but it's true, Disney. It's true. You will get more money from us if you let us see ourselves reflected in your products and experiences.
We have disposable income for you, Disney. Here we go. Here is our attraction that we are Imagine Queering. This is going to get weird. We're talking about Kilimanjaro Safari.
Okay.
We've already talked about lions, so we're halfway there. We just add Kovu, I think, is the answer.
We know that several of our queer identifying listeners have feelings for Kovu, so Kovu can be the star. We've already talked about Gary the Gay Ostrich on numerous occasions, Patrick.
It's true, that sassy gay ostrich. We love him.
Rhinoceroses are horny. I mean, I don't want to make it about sex all the time, but
I think our job's done here. I think it's already pretty gay.
I think what the Kilimanjaro Safaris needs more of are musical numbers. Don't you?
It needs musical numbers, and maybe instead of animals, I mean, keep the animals, obviously, but just put them somewhere else. We're doing a new Kilimanjaro Safari of different types of gays, and that's what's on display here on this tour. On your left, you'll see the bears, and they're having a party. The bears are having a party today.
Otters.
There's the otters. That's right. Look, everyone sit down. Don't stand up on this tour. You might fall in. There are hungry otters at the bottom of this pit.
I'm trying to think of other gay groups that are associated with animals. Wolves, foxes.
Yeah. All of the above, all of these and more.
Who hasn't seen a twink out in the wild every once in a while?
Their hunting rate is a 98% success.
What would a twink be in the animal community? Like, what's the 1-to-1 there?
Ooh, I think it's the lemurs. Are they the lemurs of the animal community?
Twinks are lemurs. Yeah.
Or the meerkats, maybe.
They just pop their little heads up every once in a while and then grab a vodka soda and pop back into their hole.
Meerkats always look like they just did a bend and snap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Their posture is extraordinary.
I think we've discovered it. We're now calling twinks meerkats.
Everyone take note. Going forward, twinks are meerkats.
This is the hard-hitting news that we discover here on Gays Do the D. This is what we bring to the community.
Do you feel that this is in any way enhancing the dialogue from the previous segment, or do you feel like we're just belittling every single impassioned plea we made?
much like the people on social media that you have a distaste for, we are also bringing nothing of value to the community right now.
I mean, Twinks as meerkats it's an important discovery that we made in this episode.
We brought one value. We brought one value to the community. It's Twinks as meerkats. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.